Only place to be for West Country football fans this afternoon. 3 vital league points at stake, but a whole lot more in terms of local pride as Bristol Rovers take on Bristol City. The aggregate score in this famous league fixture is 29-23 in City's favour, but it's Rovers who've had the better of recent exchanges, and more than 20,000 people saw them draw first blood at Ashton Gate. Less than half that number inside Twerton today, waiting to see if City can gain revenge or if Rovers can go on to complete only their third derby double. 4 days after one door to Wembley was slammed in their faces by Shrewsbury, Rovers know that a win over the old enemy is vital to keep open another route to the Twin Towers via the playoffs. John Ward makes one change from the side which played in midweek, and that sees Worrell Sterling return in midfield in place of the inexperienced Paul Tovey. And 3 players, Sterling, Andy Collett and on-loan defender Steve Morgan, are sampling the derby atmosphere for the first time this season. Rovers fans will again be looking to Peter Beadle for another match-winning performance. He became an instant hero in these parts with both goals in Rovers' 2-0 win at Ashton Gate in January. And today the big striker has added responsibility as the club's new penalty taker. City have never won a league derby at Twerton Park. Manager Joe Jordan has yet to claim victory over Rovers in 2 separate spells in charge. This is the lineup he hopes will put that right today. It shows just one change from the team beaten 1-0 at home to Burnley last week, with Kevin Nugent replacing top scorer David Seal in attack. And that means that both Darren Barnard and Matt Bryant have survived fitness scares to take their usual positions in defence. It's a big occasion for all the players, and especially the younger ones like Matt Hewlett. He's been a real star this season since claiming a regular place in central midfield, and while he's only a few weeks on from his 20th birthday, City will again be looking to him for another commanding display. An impeccably observed minute's silence for the victims of the Dunblane Primary School tragedy, and a timely reminder that whatever happens over the next 90 minutes, it's only a game of football. So it's the visitors, Bristol City, dressed all in red this afternoon, who kick off, attacking the goal behind which most of their supporters are amassed, and an early chance here with Nugent. Good tackle by Andy Tilson, stops the City striker in his tracks. And today's referee, Jim Rushton from Stoke-on-Trent, and he could be a busy man. Hewlett in just ahead of Browning. Cool coming under pressure, and he's lost out. Browning nicks it through to Channing. Beadle looking for the return, McCleary, not a convincing clearance. Mistake by Hewlett, Stewart for Beadle, charged down by McCleary. Second shot, well held by Keith Welsh. Well, first attack of any note there, it came from Rovers, it came from a City mistake by Matt Hewlett. The first shot was well charged down, the second equally well struck, and a fine save by Keith Welsh. Tilson just gets a foot in, it's broken for Agostino, Nugent and Tinian to aim for. Agostino's cross, Kevin Nugent, and the side foot into the back of the net. Bristol City ahead after 9 minutes. Well, Kevin Nugent restored to the side in place of David Seal, and there's the justification for that decision. A mistake initially by Tilson, the ball came across, and really a simple tap-in. Kevin Nugent's 6th goal of the season since joining Bristol City, and for the fans in red and white at Twerton Park, that's by far the best he's scored so far. Barnard, Morgan's header, Still work to be done for Rovers. Bristol City just with a spring in their step, as you might expect from that goal. Channing in trouble. Nugent, Martin Cool. Well, it was a good chance for the midfielder. And once again, it came from a Rovers error. Channing just lost his footing. The ball came back to Cool, who scored a few goals of late. He couldn't make that one, number 5 for the season. Rovers now trying to test out the Bristol City back four. Steve Morgan cuts in field. Beadle on to Sterling. Beadle's gone for the return. Little ball in for Stewart, trying to turn. Good save. Very good save by Keith Welsh. Splendid play by Rovers. Beadle to Stewart. Brilliant turn and shot by him. Gurney was in on the goalkeeper. That's a fine stop. Clark, cushioned header away by Bryant. Real battle there. Bryant and Stewart. The verdict goes Rovers' way. It's a free kick just a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Andy Gurney to take the kick. McCleary appeals for handball, and finally it's scrambled away. The verdict is a corner for Bristol Rovers. Curled in by Gurney. McCleary was in trouble for a moment. He really did well to get it away. Stewart in for Beadle, on to Gurney. Andy Gurney has equalised, and Twerton Park has exploded. Well, he really has got a gift for goals this season, Andy Gurney. None more precious than that one. A low strike which gave Keith Welsh no chance. Credit to Marcus Stewart and Peter Beadle for their appreciation in the build-up. A really great finish by Andy Gurney, the full-back turned midfielder. Rovers fans have suddenly found their voices. The team is looking a lot sharper as well. Still a danger though. Here's Bent for Bristol City, past Morgan. Clark just did enough to put off Nugent. Great counter-attacking football from City. Poor Steve Morgan, well, he was turned inside out, and when the cross came in, the defender just did enough. Tinian to Agostino. Channing in with the tackle, helped by Gurney. No need for that really. Tampa's beginning to flare there. It was Tinian and Gurney, the main two protagonists. Mr. Rushton, who's done his best to let things flow so far this afternoon, deciding that it is time for action. Yellow card for Tinian, yellow card for Gurney. Sterling seems to have combined well so far. Miller. Stewart goes past McCleary. Can't go past Cool. Tinian away from Channing. Agostino and Nugent ahead of him. Bent trying to get there. Tinian's cross. Might drop for Hewlett, deflection, 2-1 to Bristol City, and on the stroke of half-time, it's the youngster Matt Hewlett who's got the goal. Well, a savage blow to Bristol Rovers coming just before the break, a deflection which gave goalkeeper Andy Collett no chance at all. But credit where it's due to Matt Hewlett. He was there when the ball broke loose. He struck it well, and he maybe deserved his slice of luck. His first goal of the season for Bristol City. Well, that second goal coming right on the stroke of half-time brings to end a pulsating first 45 minutes. The two goal scorers for Bristol City, Kevin Nugent and Matt Hewlett, and it's their goals which have given the visitors a 2-1 lead. Half-time here, Rovers 1, City 2. It's more than 20 years since Bristol City last won a league derby at Bristol Rovers. That was at Eastville, of course. The current side only 45 minutes away from ending that run, unless, of course, Rovers can do something about it. They're attacking up the slope in the second half. Here's Beadle. Beadle again, charged down, painfully so by McCleary, and cleared by Barnard. Browning looking to release Stewart early. McCleary, the covering defender, to concede the throw. Sterling, Gurney, looping header, Beadle, Stewart has scored, the offside flag is up, and Rovers' celebrations cut short before they can get into full swing. To be fair to the linesman, the flag went up very early, and I think it was Peter Beadle who was in an offside position as Gurney's header looped across goal. The flag up long before Stewart found the back of the net. Sterling, little nick on for Stewart. Here comes Gurney. So too Welsh, and brave goalkeeping. Welsh looks as though he's taken a knock in the face. City were in trouble for a moment. It was Stewart, the deftest of flicks. As two men converged, Keith Welsh was bravely in there amongst the boots. Nice play, Sterling. Good challenge though by McCleary, just when it looked like it might open up. Cool spreads the play wide to Bent. Faced by two. Bent gets his cross deep to the far post. Agostino with a header. It's 3-1 to Bristol City, and it's a splendid goal by Paul Agostino. Well, just about an hour gone, and Bristol City really in the box seat after some fine work by Junior Bent. His deep cross, and that's a great header. No chance at all for Collett. Bristol City 3-1 up. Stewart leaves it to Gurney. Beadle now takes over. To Miller. Sterling available outside him. Shot charged down. Morgan, deflection, corner. Fine strike by Steve Morgan. Got plenty behind it. Luckily for City, a red shirt in the way. Rare chance for Marcus Stewart. Cross headed away by Barnard. Browning seizes on it. Low shots. Everyone saw it late. He did well to get across in the end. Not the cleanest of strikes by Marcus Browning. Very nearly found a way through to that bottom corner. cool, trying to act as peacemaker. Stewart sprays it wide for Sterling. He wins the corner. Still 20 minutes left for Rovers. Tilson's up there. Hooked in, off the line. Appeals for a penalty. Nothing doing, says the ref. City escape. Well, a corner was played into the near post. Difficult to see who got the shot in. The City defender in the right place at the right time to just smuggle it away from the goal line. Here they come again. Beadle leaves it for Browning. Good save by Welsh. Everything behind it. As Marcus Browning trying his luck from 20 yards or so, the goalkeeper had it covered. Miller to Browning. Clearance by Bryant wasn't the best, helped out by Tinian. For a minute it's 2-on-2. Seal, poor ball. Rovers press again through Sterling. Tilson trying to make room for the shot. Welsh got it at the second attempt. Great attempt by the Rovers captain, made room for the shot, struck it well. Keith Welsh needed 2 bites of the cherry. Desperate stuff now for Rovers into the last 5 minutes. Tilson wide for Gurney. Everything forward of him. Gurney again, blocked by Barnard. Now Rovers are in trouble here. It's 2 against 1. Nugent finds David Seal. And David Seal plants it into the corner. It's all over. It's 4-1 to Bristol City. And it's the classic counter punch. Well, Rovers banking on attack had left only Tilson back. It was 2 against 1. He was never going to be able to stop City getting a shot in on goal. And David Seal put it right in the corner. Classic strike from him, his 12th of the season. And it's all over now. City lead 4-1. Well, Rovers have got a corner, but their fans are leaving in droves. And there's surely no way they can pull back 3 goals in 5 minutes. They're trying their hardest. It's a mass scramble. It is in. It's 4-2, and I think it's Billy Clark who's got the goal. Well, hardly a flicker of emotion from the fans or from the players. A scramble in the City goalmouth, and the defender Clark who poked it home. But it really looks as though that'll be nothing more than a consolation for Rovers. Nugent. Forward by Miller to French. Difficult ball to control though. Runs away off the forehead for a goal kick. All over, and it's a red letter day for Bristol City and their supporters. They've finally laid their Twerton Park jinx. to win this, the 80th league meeting between the Bristol clubs. A goal scored by Nugent, Hewlett, Agostino and finally David Seal. Gurney and Clark on target for Rovers, but it's their second setback of a bad week. Bristol City doing all the celebrating. The final score here at Twerton Park, Bristol Rovers 2, Bristol City 4.
Yeah, we're full of 5 spirits at the moment. It's a good win, another 3 points, so just good to get one over on them, seeing the disappointment at Ashton Gate in January, so it's pleasing.
And for a young lad like yourself, I mean, how did you enjoy the sort of whole derby atmosphere?
It's good to get a goal in it. It's my first league goal, and good to win, really.
The performance was very pleasing. It carries on from last week, and the result is a delight, especially to our travelling support. But we've been playing well without really getting the results. And last week I was maybe a little bit hard on the players because they played really great football, but I said that we didn't deserve to win because we passed up so many opportunities. Today I've got to give them it. They played well. I thought it was a good game. I thought both teams contributed to the game. But for us being an away team to score 4 goals, I don't think anybody can take anything away from us.
I think we've played better today than in our previous 2 home games, which we won. People complained about the performance in that, but they're happy enough with the result. Today I think we've had the opposite. We've had a poor result in terms of that scoreline, but the performance itself has been pretty okay. And over 50-60 games a season, I've got to look at the longer term side of it. And had we won today, the 3 points were helping towards the playoffs. As we haven't, we've now got to work that little bit harder and see if we can finish as high as we can. If that's in the top 6, I'll smash it. We'll try and do that.
Well, a derby game with plenty of incident. What did you make of it, Mark?
Oh, it was a good game in terms of there's plenty of goal-mouth incident, and I thought City played well. I didn't think Rovers played particularly well. I also thought the mistakes they made. This was the first goal that City scored. Tilson really should just at least try and play the ball back to his goalkeeper or knock it out and they get caught. And I think it comes through his legs. It's such a soft goal so early on in the game, especially bearing in mind that it is a derby match. I thought this would rank as probably one of the better goals of the day because there was very few errors in it. It was all really made by Rovers attack. Good play by Stewart onto Beadle, into Gurney's feet. It was a super finish, wasn't it? And that really got Rovers back in the game. It came to him left foot. Goalkeeper was just starting to set himself, wasn't he, Keith Morris? Bad tackle there by Challenge, committed himself, and of course you can't let this fella get any room or space down the left team, and in comes across, and Morgan, who I thought as well had a poor day, that comes back off his shin, Hewlett gets the rebound, and I think when you saw that goal in just before half time, you think, hello, City have got the look today. And again I thought poor defence here by City, bent on the ball, he's got 2 men confronted him, still gets his cross in, and what a super leaping header by Agostino for that goal. It really was a super leaping header from that.
But really, Rovers contributed to their own downfall yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they did. I thought the 2 full-backs, certainly, Channing for one and Morgan. And what's Morgan doing in there, I don't know from when the keepers had the ball. He's supposed to be playing left-back. He's committed himself, and he ends up, he commits all the defenders. And really, if he'd jogged himself a bit quicker back into the penalty, he'd have got on the end of that. But himself, certainly, and Channing didn't have the best of days. Again, here, he's left-footed. He's got Bent where he wants him. And then, when Bent decides to cross it, he's actually gone to stop it with his right foot. Super finish by Agostino, but in that instance he's got to show him inside. And this was Channing, the other full-back, really had loads of time in which to deliver and get this away. Then he slipped, it almost cost his side a goal. I think eventually it goes wide of the far post. It was Cool, who I actually thought was outstanding on the day. And this again, I think Cool on the ball in front of Tinian, and Channing comes flying in. There's no reason and no will in the earth is really why he should dive in there at all, and eventually it costs him a goal. And I just thought in those 2 full-back positions, and people might say you're being a bit harsh, but that's where the majority of the goals came from.
And if you were John Ward, how disappointed would you be with that defending?
Well, I think I was very disappointed, and also coming on the back of getting beat at home to Shrewsbury. It still seemed as though they had a hangover from not appearing at Wembley, and then of course the next game was as Bristol City, and they really seemed up for it more than Rovers did yesterday.
And you have to pay City their dues. That was a fine performance.
Well, I think Joe Jordan rightly said that they played really well against Burnley, created all the chances, couldn't win, couldn't stick the ball in the net. They didn't have as many chances yesterday, but the finishing was exemplary.
And very briefly, Mark, where do Rovers go from here? They've got Chesterfield next week. They've got to pick themselves up.
They really have, and they've got to forget about it. It's difficult because it's the city of Bristol's divided in 2, and everyone will remind them of that this week. But really, the best thing they can do is by going and winning at Chesterfield and just putting it to the back of their minds.